We, I think, are live.
What a time to be alive.
It's beautiful. And look at all this junk. The awesomeness of the stream. Everything is fantastic now. I am so delighted.
Yeah.
I thought when you said junk, you were referring to us, but alas.
Alas, well, you are the guy. Both of you have like a nice setting where you're sitting, like, ambient lighting, and here I am. Fucking hell! I need to up my game.
Your background.
That's because we have no content to. This is just to fluff up the fact that we have literally nothing to contribute.
Absolutely, but I mean, and I am like devoid of all content. That's why you guys. So basically, we're just a substitute for content, all of us.
I mean, again, junk. Here we are.
Personified.
And we will actually talk about some junk also.
Yeah, we will.
Quite
we will.
exciting.
Let's see. So, Julia, good to see you. And not so surprising since we're going to talk art. And Binan, welcome. Alex, Dank Throne, and Gakay. So we have some people who found their way. In general, we're transmitting from the pest capital of Stockholm. All three of us in various locations. But we are transmitting on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So, whichever platform, the chat should be syndicated. So if you write something, we should be able to see it and maybe understand it. Who knows?
But you didn't have time to share this on Pornhub yet, no?
No, we're working on that. They have higher content standards.
I guess we need to make it more interesting then. Okay.
We need a firmer content.
Trassel.
Well,
no dogs allowed. We that will be bestiality after hours.
Sorry.
yeah, that's another.
So we can be banned again.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'm in my raccoon mug. I am drinking glögg.
I feel ashamed by drinking Prippes.
Pippes.
I never feel ashamed to drink the glorious Mariestads.
Oh.
And if Mariestad or Prippes or Glögg in general wants to sponsor us, contact information down below.
Yes, yes. Actually, glögg, we drink it in Sweden during Christmas time. It's glühwein. Basically, I don't even know what it is. It's like a warm wine.
I drank it in Romania once. They actually made the glögg on the spot with lots of Jägermeister.
Okay.
Pure version.
Yeah, so we have glögg. Yes, mister, just have a sip. No problem. It's palinka glögg. It's good for
Oh,
you.
Jesus Christ. After this weekend, I don't like that word. Never did.
Have you palinked during the weekend?
No, I have not palinked, but it feels like I have been palinked.
Yeah, we were palinked in various places throughout Romania on that infamous tour we did together. It was we should do it again. Never.
I mean, it's kind of like being kicked in the balls. It's like, it's all right.
It's
I
lovely.
mean, there's people who like it. I mean,
They're tougher. I mean, Romanians. They're tough as nails because they can drink palinka. It's but it's a glorious place, and we should hang out there more when this pest shit is over.
Yeah, a live stream 3 junks in Romania, live audience of 2 people.
Yeah, easily.
from
easily.
Hello Hotel.
Hotel.
Hello
You-
Hotel. Yeah,
You haven't experienced it yet, Doctor, but you will one day.
it's
That's my dream.
It's something with where you can't lock the toilet door and it's only made of frosted glass, and you're sharing the room with another stinking man in a metal band. There's a bonding thing there, very special.
Hello Hotel, taking away the O in hello.
Yeah, they put the "vo" in hello.
Yeah.
So here we are again. I'm delighted that we can do this because I think, and I hope you can also see that I've pimped our template a little bit, so we get a little bit more space, and Walter is over there, and 9 is over there. It's I mean, this is the next level shit.
It's like a mysig dubbelmacka.
It is, and we are just waiting for all the the donations. No one's donated a single coin yet.
And we are glad that you're not contributing to literal shit. So thank you so much.
And I also
it speaks volume of the intelligence of.
And here you can also see what people have done. Like people have shared and liked this stuff. It's glorious. Well, in any case, we are here to talk about something important, which is artworks and album releases, right?
We will.
And
I believe we will be very uneven in our different reasons. And I like it. It will be...
This is going to be possibly more subjective, because we tend to agree on stuff, at least so far. But so last time we talked about great artwork. And kind of everybody can agree that a great artwork is a great artwork.
Yeah.
For different reasons. I can like it less, I can like it more. It can be more or less special. But this time...
I fucked it up, sorry. Yep.
What is going to happen this time?
This time, we needed a bigger challenge. I mean, because doing fantastic streams comes easy to us, because we are like media personalities, right? I mean, I wouldn't watch this, but I mean, some people do, because they're just nicer people. But we needed a bigger challenge. So, because like you said, Walter, it's easy to agree that, a good artwork. I mean, but can a really good album have some really shitty artwork and vice versa? And can we find some examples?
Let's find out.
Let's find out. And I think the first category, we should do like shitty albums that have great artwork. I found that one to be very hard, because I don't pay attention to albums I don't like. But
I agree, it was really difficult. So I needed to, go to the backwaters of my little shitty ass DNA code and, try to find it. But, I
could find it. Yeah, I could find a couple too. It's hard because, again, you don't get attached. You don't even listen to album you don't like.
No.
So why on earth? But we did find some.
Yeah. And 9, your lightning system is enough for people to tune in. I knew it.
Well, I am here to serve you.
Okay, so let's see. Slayer, Season in the Abyss, great album, not that cool artwork. Yeah, not the coolest artwork, I agree. Fantastic album. But not the most fantastic artwork.
Yeah.
I don't
Show
like
No Mercies also.
Yeah,
Same.
It's even worse, I think.
I think so.
But it isn't like eye-bleedingly, soul-evisceratingly bad.
No, it's not.
No.
So should we? Now let's see. We pick some albums that we think have good artwork, but we don't like the album. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna push a button here. Woo! And here we are. And this is actually 9. This is your
my pick for a good artwork and a bad album. First of all, I must say that I loathe Mastodon, and my favorite part of this band is when they don't play live or release stuff, actually. I was trying to listen to this album a bit more today, and I was like, I feel ashamed by having this now on my Spotify. I should have gone incognito mode on YouTube and listened to it or something. It's like I defiled my own Spotify.
You loathe them that much?
Yeah, I think they are just boring, run-of-the-mill American greasy fuckers. And
Run of the mill, and that's a good one when it comes to Mastodon. Yeah.
yeah. No, they are trying so much with, their music is supposed to be, introspective, and, everything is so nice. Kind of like how these typical, they are not a technical death metal band, but technical death metal band tends to, we joked about it before, they have songs called Paradox of Cosmos and DNA reverberation, and their artwork is usually pretty good, but the music is just unlistenable, usually American crap. And this is American crap, at least. It's just, I never got understood Mastodon. Maybe there's a good song out there I haven't heard, So, yeah, if someone knows a good Mastodon song, sure, write it in.
I'm not super into Mastodon. I actually admit I don't know them so much. I've been listening maybe to a couple of albums the whole career. I don't know. I do know, though, a lot of people who really love them.
Yeah, they are like the people who listen to Gojira. They usually like Mastodon. Gojira is also a band I don't really understand. I mean, it doesn't sound bad, but I would never listen to a Gojira song.
They don't speak to you.
Never. I mean,
Same
but
I'm sorry to agree here.
Yeah, we started on a bad note here.
Yeah, because actually I don't like Mastodon either. I never understood the hype. I ran into the guys at the festival, and they seemed to be, I mean, we were not hanging out, but they were in the audience sector drinking beers, and this was like 10 years ago. Looked pretty approachable and, not too stuck up. But to me, you need a monocle to listen to Mastodon, because you got to be so highbrowed somehow. It's like you got to be really interested in musical theory, and the fucking vocals just kills it for me. But then on this album, there is an edition of this with a DVD where they explain more about who they are and their music. And I watched that, and for a moment there I thought, yeah, maybe they're not that bad. But I don't want to understand so much in order to like something. So for me, Mastodon doesn't cut it. Gojira did it on the Whale album, From Cyrus to Mars. That one, it was so new when it came. But now, it's.
I was thinking about taking the Whale album of Gojira, but whatever. But in any case, this is a really good artwork. I'm a sucker for the Moby Dick and all of that shit. And I think there's nothing. Sure, this isn't like the best artwork that's ever made, but it's pleasant to watch, and it's interesting, nice colors, and this is a 8 out of 10 kind of artwork for me. And that is mainly the reason why I picked it.
I agree. The artwork is, I mean, I don't find it super exciting, but then I saw the vinyl version where there is more of the,
they were more zoomed out, and there were more.
That was even cooler actually, but I agree. There is a big difference between the artwork and how I find the album. I'm sorry to agree. Like I said, I mean, I wished we could be disagreeing.
It's a really bad start, but it's like I can see into the future. There might be an album later on that might have stir up some profanity from the Doctor.
I mean, you never know. There could be some atrocious shit that gets us banned. You never know.
I mean, I felt like having this one felt kind of like a safe bet. It wasn't. This doesn't really stir the pot, or is making our friendship dissipate because we're so.
No, I think it's fine. And
but I'm sure, I hope that there is somebody watching, or maybe watching this later, who will be extremely offended. How dare they shit on Mastodon?
But Mastodon fans, aren't they very easily offended? So we'll hear from them all.
Yeah, they feel like I'm offended based, fan based.
Yeah, I think so. And I think Gojira fans could also be quite easily offended, and they might even print brochures where they sort of denounce us as not we don't wear monocles in the way that we're supposed to.
If they would take away the only source of revenue I get, which is this the donations we get.
Yeah.
You know, I can literally not live with myself.
Yeah, it would be so fucking devastating.
I would go under a bridge.
Yeah, well,
we will stream from under the bridge, I guess.
Yeah, well, you know, the bridges are fairly nice in Stockholm. It's slightly cold, but they are of good quality. So I think we should be good. Dankthrone wrote that Infestor to the Depths in Degradation has a pretty bad cover, but great riffs. Okay, we'll check it up. If you're not pissing some groups off, people, you're doing something wrong. Well, yes, we are not the most politically correct stream. We got banned from everywhere because, well, the doctor had to put on his favorite torture video.
I also was a bit surprised that you fucking went to Vimeo and, you know, full frontal dickling nudity. And,
yeah.
You know,
well, you know, I shouldn't have done that, but I mean, it felt good at the time, and also so funny because I mean, from randomness, we started out with that one, and then everything felt pretty meh. In any case,
wait, is it PMR there?
Yeah,
it's telling me to listen to Jaguar God. You know?
Okay.
I will.
Yeah, as soon as he doesn't have tattoos along his hairline.
So never.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure. I mean, all of these bands, they are phenomenally good at what they do. It's just they're maybe too good.
A good band doesn't. Good instruments doesn't make a band good. You know.
No, I mean, here I am. I worship the early Burzum stuff. So I mean, go figure. Yeah. Not the most highbrow. Very few monocles involved in those recording sessions in Grieghallen. All right, so let's see what we got next. I will push a button. Oh, it's Christian Death with Sex, Drugs, and Jesus Christ. Long story here. I fucking love this artwork. This is Jesus Christ having his fix. I mean, as he does.
Oh, yeah?
A photo... which is, you know, you should really, you know, Google it at some point. It's really, it's quite strong. And Christian Death and me, we have a very, very difficult relationship because I want so much to love Christian Death, and yet I can only get into a few songs, and that's not for a lack of trying. Trust me, I own at least 30 Christian Death CDs, but I cannot really get into it, and this album especially is fucking bad. It's not a good album, but it has a really captivating artwork, and it's so obscure, so I'm sure you guys have not listened perhaps to this particular album, and you should
assume. But yes, you're right. I haven't, at least.
The best aspect is right in front of you. It's the artwork. But I would love so much to be... Okay, so Julia, of course you love Christian Death. Good. I wish I mean, they have the coolest name. They have the coolest logo. And I love the Christian Death, I mean, I won't go into the full details, but Christian Death, in the end, were actually two bands. They started out as a band with Ross Williams, who was like the Christian Death guy, and did, you know, I'd say gothic rock, horror rock, something, early 80s. Then he recruited people, then they had a falling out, and Ross continued with Christian Death, and the other guys continued as Christian Death. So we had two bands outputting tons of albums. So that's why the discography is pretty thick. This is by the Val or Kant edition of Christian Death. So if you're a true Christian Death fan, you don't like it Anyway, so it's okay. It's like the Batushka thing, but taken to a whole other level. Ross, the original Christian Death guy, hung himself, so he sort of finished off that branch of Christian Death, the good branch, the true branch. And now we have this other branch continuing. I sort of like both. There are stuff that I like. But the band really... I can make a best-of album that is fantastic, but I own 30 albums, and it's not a good song on most of them.
I mean, I feel intrigued after all of this shit you said about it. So I will give it all go, and I will probably agree that it will be pretty awful music, which I'm always game for.
I'm pretty... Sorry.
Come to my place, and the DJ from Hell will take you through the Christian Death history. From the very good beginnings to the very questionable present, I would say. But like I said, I would love... They have the coolest name. I mean, everything is cool, except it's not really that good. Sorry, Julia.
I'm surprised you... I mean, except for me, I haven't heard about Christian Death in maybe...
They are
20 years.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool. Yeah, they existed. Now I remember. I saw this album. I never heard this album. I thought it was super cool name and excellent, shocking artwork and everything. I want to listen. And I also want a ticket for the DJ from Hell.
Yeah, no problem.
Want to be educated in that.
I will happily, thwart all hope of good songs by, But like I said, 10 songs. I can start out with a really good shit, and then it's downhill from there, trust me. But in any case, an album which looks amazing and doesn't really deliver, in my book. So, there you go. We have Ricardo, who says, talking about not great artwork, Lord Belial, Kiss the Goat. Agreed.
I must say, I think it works.
It works. Yeah, I agree.
We all remember it, though.
Yes, but...
And it's a great album.
It's an amazing album, but I don't think it is that... I mean, I know it is bad, but it isn't, I can't...
It's pink.
Yes, it is.
It's a black metal album with a pink cover art.
Well, they are just more in tune with their sexuality than you are, maybe.
I would never ever say anything regarding that, because the Baccaline brothers, you don't fuck around those guys, because they blow things up for a living. I mean, they're tough guys, and I adore that album. I really do. I love Lord Belial, but I agree that album isn't as cool as the stuff they did later on. But I agree, it works. Just like the Catatonia artwork for Dance of December Souls, it also has like pink tones. But I never gave a fuck about that because I love the album, and it's the same with Kiss the Goat.
It was very bold of them just coming out in the mid-90s black metal. Sure, let's do a pink cover art. Kiss this girl.
Yeah. What about Winterland, speaking of pink? Well, Death Crush is pink as well half of the time. Yes, we're... Pink is an underrated black metal color in general, but I would say Winterland is it's more to the purple. Fine. In any case, I'm happy that we get some reactions in the chat. Let's see. Sedum albums, Only Theater of Pain, All the Love and All the Hate have great music but not good artworks. Yes. Julia, I agree. That is the good Christian Death. I also know every girl who has bangs will never ever communicate with me ever again. So I all the goths are now hating me, but that's okay, because then I can go into my 9 Inch Nails dialogue. But that's for another time, because guys, we have something we need to do. We need to talk about the bands that people love but that we never got into. Like, for instance, Mastodon. This band that you have to love it, but if you don't.
Well, you don't really want me to talk about Typo Negative.
Oh, well, for instance, we could do that. I mean, I had Paris on. Did you see that episode where he was speaking about the video shoot for Black Number One?
Oh yeah.
That's good humor actually.
Well, you know, speaking of bands that we also don't like, remember when you took me to see Ordo L'Equilibrio, whatever they're called?
Rosarios Equilibrio, yeah.
Yeah, I saw 2 songs and then I left.
I like you still, but I loved you before. I mean, there is a difference. There is a before the Ori gig, and then there is the after.
Yeah, we are okay. Yeah, you know, good to know.
Well, you know, no, you can't love everything, and I know they are an acquired taste, just like Christian Death. If you're not, they're not gonna, you know, it's not like a Therion bombastic shit that will just, or like Asia or something like that, that will just, you know, blow you away by its sheer, you know, bombasticness. So yeah, I agree. I understand why that can happen. Let's see what Frederick has to say. No Fashion had a problem with red. Don't know if the case with Kiss the Goat, but I know a lot of artworks that was supposed to be red turned into pink.
Good.
Jane also saw 2 songs and left. Well, okay, so this was a good stream, but I have places to be, people to talk to, actually have like taste in music and shit.
Hey do.
Hey do.
Speaking of which, shall we see what's the 3rd album?
I will push a button and everything can happen. I know.
Yes, to the great surprise of precisely no one. Well, of course, one of the most beloved metal band and one pretty great artwork with arguably their worst release is, in my opinion, would be mediocre even by you know, a completely unknown emerging band, or you know, a cult band or whatever band what it is, would be still a mediocre album. And made by Iron Maiden, this album is all so much worse. Actually, I had the gut to listen to the whole thing today because, you know, I prepare for
of
the
course,
audience.
as one does. Yeah.
Preparing? Yeah, of course. Yes.
And I could stomach 1 good third of it.
Yeah. That's how bad it is.
Of course, this is the 2nd album and final album with Blaze Bayley, with them, plagued by unfortunately, I mean, he could never, no one could ever be Bruce, and also the songwriting is so boring and mediocre and uninspired. The production is not sparkly. Nothing works this album.
Are there any good songs on it? Because I don't think I ever listened to it.
I don't think so.
I'm actually googling the track list.
There should be at
I
least.
do not think so.
Like,
well, sure.
Clansman,
you know.
Is that on this one or the?
Clansman is that? Yes, that's correct.
That's like almost a good song when Bruce does it, isn't it? Or
that's correct. Yes.
Mm.
I would agree with you, but the album itself is just pitiful, unfortunately. I mean, I don't know if there are hardcore Iron Maiden fans that like this era, this album in particular. If anyone that I spoke with liked this album at all, I never heard anyone who liked
anyone
it.
in the chat who actually likes this album, and not sparkly enough is great critique of a metal album.
No, I'm talking about the production. So it's a
it's fucking legit.
Yeah. I'm talking about the production. I mean, it doesn't have any color. It just stays there. It's very in the middle. There is no particular bass. There is no fantastic sound. That at least, you know, the sound is good. The production is fucking great. Yeah, sound, whatever. Not even that.
I have to say, I don't think the artwork is so fucking fantastic either. I think it's like okay, but by Iron Maiden standards, it's actually subpar.
I mean, he have an Oculus song, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Isn't it always like really bad when bands are like, oh, we're gonna have the most modern shit. Like people gonna, have the modern phone, which looks like, a relic after 5 years.
Yeah, don't have
Stuff.
No, fucking like phones is a great example because it will not age well.
No, it will not age well. Or like the coolest car. No, no. I think it was Darude who made Sandstorm, where they had the Volvo 740 because it looked a bit science fiction. Well, that made the video look pretty dated quickly because it's an ugly fucking car and it's like, yeah, whatever. Sorry.
Yes, it was difficult. It was difficult to find literally shit albums with great cover. I had maybe one or two more. I picked this one because, everyone knows Iron Maiden.
Yes, it's pretty bold. It's pretty bold to take a Maiden because the Maiden fans, they can be...
It can be harsh.
Yes, and that's what I was...
and you can't spot them because they don't wear monocles. They don't have that at all. But
no face tattoos.
Normally not, but they have jeans vests. So you might see them from a distance so you can run for your life.
You mean run to the hills?
My second option, because was... no, actually, that was vice versa. Fuck it. It was hard. I was thinking about the Black Album with Metallica because I really hate that album, but I don't like the artwork either. So I couldn't use it because the artwork is not that great, is it? Yeah, exactly. They didn't even bother.
Good.
Good. Thank you so much.
What else I like? Yeah, that's another story. I'm one of the few that even likes load and reload, but never mind.
Okay. Well, and on that note, exactly. I'm so sorry, but I ran out of bandwidth. I did. So now I have to stop streaming forever.
At least from mine, the bandwidth has been exhausted from my part.
Exactly. I can no longer... Why did you... Now the light is again moving.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
All right. So, good albums with shitty artwork then.
There we go.
Should we do that?
Let's go. Let's open the floodgate.
Boom!
There we are.
Okay. So I picked Therion. I am a die-hard opera bug. I love Therion. I didn't start to listen to Therion like in the super early, like when they did Of Darkness, of Darkness, and Beyond Sanctum and Symphony of the Masses.
Just correction. No one did.
Or not even Le Passa Cliffoff, but it was when they released this. It was on a compilation album called Beauty and Darkness, released by Nuclear Blast. So they had Megatherion on. I think it was the second song on that compilation, and I was like, I guess this is the best band now. And I kind of think that 24 years later.
Yes, you do.
And again, this artwork is, it can be one of the worst ever made.
It's so fucking bad.
It is amazing. I kind of want to have a tattoo of that one somewhere.
What is it even? Is it a Minotaur or like a maybe Tor? I think it's...
I think I know.
It's an
armadillo.
Yes, it's an armadillo.
Armadillo Tor.
And it just has all of the amazing technology and programs of '96, in one picture. And
it must have been because it was Nuclear Blast that released it. And it's like, we have the best computer graphics available for you guys. We will put the most expensive texture of a stone wall and then just make it feel a farbe.
That is. I think that's exactly how the call to his software went. But this album, I think there's zero. This is a 10 out of 10 album. Like the worst song is a 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah,
it
I
has
agree.
Dawn,
Love that
Dawn Fauna singing, Doctor, and it's just this is an amazing. This is in my top 10 albums of all time.
Yeah, easily. It changed my life. This album when it came out.
Nothing sounded like this when no one ever sounded like Therion, but it always felt like they were throwing dice. And okay, I guess we're gonna sound like this now.
Yeah,
and all of the dice aligned in the correct way from this one. And I mean, I would even go so far that I love Le Pas à Clifford and Out of Sight Translucid Dreaming also. But I mean, yeah, so me and the good doctor here, we were talking. I wanted to talk about this album this week, and they said, no, let's wait until, I can be angry live with people instead. So this is the bane of your existence sometimes, this band. And you're wrong, and that's all the time we have with Walter. You won.
Yes, I want my minutes because I need to rant.
Yeah, but
do it.
So yes, Nine and I know each other a wee bit. We exchange music every now and again, and we mostly agree. I would say 95% almost of the stuff we listen to, we agree. But there is also those few bands that never manage to make the other one like. So Therion is one of them.
But there are a few songs that is fine.
Yeah, yes. So Therion did the first period of Therion. They were this raw death metalish, more aggressive stuff, and
a bit avant-garde.
Latest period were more high production value, bigger everything, more perfected sounds. But this particular period, when they were transitioning, it is the worst, because they were willing to do all the things. They wanted to have symphonic orchestras, sopranos, clean metal vocals, metal riffs, solo, shredding.
Okay, we're back.
I thought, okay, yeah. This album and the composition are all over the place. Basically, the cover art is reflecting what the content of the music is.
Is it only for me that the microphone is the sound acting up for?
Yeah, it's a little bit cut. I think it's because you speak so much, lies. So it's the lie, the lie filter is cutting you out. Now it's some glitching, but it's still possible to hear you, so it's fine.
Can I continue, or should I stop?
No, continue, because you talked about people transitioning. No, you were saying something.
Yes, and the solos on this album are so fucking sloppy. They wanted to be grandiose, but they just repeat these silly melodies, just sang with this like for 8 times, 8 parts, and the songs are so long and all over the place. And even the production is not. I mean, the drum is so loud, and the choirs are so loud, and the other things are so back in the production. This is a mess. But again, maybe smooth.
Yeah, I mean,
you.
It's not illegal to be wrong, as you have proven time after time. So you do you. But.
I think you like this album because you see through the glasses of nostalgia. I mean, it was original. Okay, I give you that.
Right,
yes.
Good. Yeah, I didn't even need to answer then. Perfect. But I mean, again, Therion is not like AC/DC in that sense. Like, I wonder what this album will be. You never know with a Therion album, and that is why I love Therion. They don't care, or maybe they don't know. Both go hand in hand. And
that's good, and I approve that. I appreciate that.
And it is just something special about this. And Neff, I wanna
You mean special in that way? Yes.
Shut your mouth. So, what is your relationship to Theli?
I love this album. When it came out, it opened a floodgate of emotion, and I never heard anything like it. But it just, to me, everything just felt perfect. I guess nostalgia still does it for me in a little bit, but it's not just that. I love the melody. I love it's grandiose, but it's also to me it's like it's almost catharsis emotion. It's super good. I really I love this album.
And just listen to Cyrus of the Woods is like one of the most beautiful songs ever made. And the cool melodies of Desert of Set or the ferocity of the Invocation of Nama. It is just and Cults of the Shadows. I mean, everything is just, there's not a bad second in this album.
But I like one song of this album.
But there must be someone. There is just one person. He must be guilty of sometimes not caring enough about artworks, because some of the recent lyric videos have been utter shite. I mean, so ugly, so bad. So sometimes it feels like, well, the music speaks for itself, so let the artwork be whatever. Someone should help Therion with that to avoid, at least, I could make lyric videos that look better, and that's a problem, I think.
I might actually say that Out of Sight Translucid Dreaming with the floating black heads might be almost worse than this, but this is a more recognizable album.
Yeah.
But
why is the Maybe tour out of focus, and then the Stone? Of course, it's higher. I mean, it's higher res texture.
They didn't have the technology, Neff. They didn't have the technology to make it sharp.
No, they didn't. But at that time, you could do Doom. Doom looks better than their fucking. Now it's just something went to hell. But it must be, whatever. We don't care.
I mean, I'm not sure if you. I mean, maybe I like Therion or maybe I don't. I mean, that's why I wouldn't know. Yeah, I should have made their 11-point star as bad as the one on Theli, actually. But next time.
No one is drunk enough to. I mean. I don't even remember if it's pixelated also on the artwork, but I'm too lazy to go and get it. But
my favorite part of this artwork is this little white dot on the left edge.
Up there, and
that is so refined. So refined.
That's my favorite dead pixel.
Yeah, and people in the chat love it as well. Well, I mean, who can blame you? It's It's hard to top this, but let's see. We have 2 more shitty artworks for good albums coming up. So
I just another album that I was about to maybe take was we will not go into detail, but it was Nevermore's Politics in Ecstasy with a crying child and Comic Sans.
It's utterly ridiculous, that artwork as well, because it feels like they didn't even try. Here I have a sense that Nuclear Blast actually tried, because I mean, if you look, the logo is well, it's behind one of the ears.
It is.
Somebody actually worked with that ear. The other ear is in front of it.
It just shows the depth of Therion.
So, and how is that I don't know.
Yeah, we're just getting angry by looking at this armadillo tower, maybe centaur.
Yeah.
So
let's go.
Continue.
I will push a button, and here we go. I picked this one.
This is okay. Well, I guess we're getting a bit fucking fisticuffs now. This is a great artwork.
No, it's not. The album is great. It's one of the best albums. But start with we have this whatever it is. It's a fuckator who's beating down a wall, and where the hell is the sense of perspective here? I mean, why the person falling is much smaller than the person in the background who is like a semi-giant. But, and here's the kicker. This monster looks like he shot himself when he's walking. Look at those footsteps. He's like taking baby steps in the sand. He's like really slowly walking towards... No, that's not... He's not rushing.
I never noticed that.
Is he rushing towards this wall? No, he's not. He's taking his good time. Slowly, like an old man. He's like...
Maybe he wanted to borrow the bathroom and they said no. It's like, oh...
Scales are off, anatomy is shitty, looking ridiculous. Yeah, thank you, Julia. Yeah, it's... I mean, I understand. We...
Are you saying that you're not agreeing with the fake arm muscles that everyone has here?
I think it's an ugly... This is a sketch of what could have been, a great painting. If somebody, found a monster who didn't shit himself before he went to bust a wall. And also, I mean, the walls of Jericho, it was trumpets that made them fall, right? Not Minotaurcilla. I don't know. But I really never liked this album art at all. This feels like, the guy on the corner who can do like this spray paint, suns and planets. He got to make this album.
I'm gonna
to make it even worse.
Oh.
I think that the guy or the monster is a discount Eddie.
Yeah, he's a discount Eddie, like the shit of the litter. When everybody picked their mascot, this guy was left, and Kai Hansen said, "Well, yeah, he looks really cool."
I was at the store called Buttricks and I found an ape mask. You can use it.
Yeah, and it's
it would be an amazing masquerade or like Halloween trick or treat. You should do it next year.
Yes, I will shit myself and wear that costume, and I'm coming to your party.
Slowly,
very slowly.
But that's just an ordinary get-together at my place.
Yeah, well, yes. But mind you, I picked it because I don't like the artwork, but I love... Fuck!
Rightfully so, because this is, of course...
Yeah, I have a brain aneurysm, take it easy. But, I mean, yes, it is silly, it's stupid, it's a fucking dude in a monkey costume striking
a wall.
People of different length, but, they might be Christians or something, so that's good, it's matching.
Oh, well, of course, I mean...
but...
I agree. Sure, I mean, I'm picky, but for some...
It's iconic, though. It's iconic.
It's iconic. It's recognizable.
But because the album is great.
Yes.
Because the album, you should get, detached from the greatness of an album. It happens.
On our next episode, we will have Kai Hansen here explaining himself.
He would never stop.
Maybe they had, budget problems.
So, make fake muscles? What?
Exactly. You only get shitty muscles for that amount of Deutschmark. Okay, then.
Yes.
But I mean, this is, there are worse Halloween covers, but those albums are also worse. Pink Bubbles Go Ape. It's not a good album. It's not a very good title, and it's not a very good artwork. Well, whatever. Then we have the Keeper albums that they are sort of like not very fantastic artworks, but at least they give me something completely different than this one.
I'm not sure why I was thinking about it, but isn't Imagination with the Blind Guardian like a really, really good artwork with a cape?
Yes, fantastic.
Cape.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
No, it's a mirror.
Oh, mirror even. Okay, there you go.
You ask and I provide. Live for our chat.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's cool.
Yes.
And I mean, it feels almost wrong to bash at an album that has really made my life so much better. But I mean, at some point,
you should feel ashamed.
I feel dirty, but that's
Good.
okay.
Well, at least we all agree that this is a great album, song-wise.
Yes, and I put the alert box behind. Whatever. Okay, not enough friction here, but
I am sure. I might know which one you picked, and I will disagree maybe with the doctor on this last one.
Okay, so let's do it.
Oh,
yes.
Speaking about perspectives.
Yes, exactly. And
fuck's
also
sake.
talking about budget. This
it looks like he's eating sausages.
look, I had a very hard time understanding the first time I saw this artwork. What the fuck were I looking at?
Is an arm coming out of his mouth?
I thought that was my final conclusion, but then now I think it's just meant to be from the side, and it's
Through
just
the
so bad.
jaw. Yeah.
So while I talk, I ask kindly Julia, because you clearly know your shit. What do you think about this?
What happens?
That's the first Anthrax album in '84, which is one of the founding pillars of thrash metal. American shit. Just after Metallica and Megadeth started their stuff, they were fast, very high-pitched voice. Their first singer, Neil Turbin, all around super good album. We'll talk quickly about that. But apparently they actually really did have some budget problems. So I guess this is some band members' cousin.
But wait, artists work for free when they paid, didn't you know?
Exposure.
Yes, exposure.
Well, they can have all of the royalties that we make from the albums.
I guess they tagged him on their Instagram page.
Yeah, well, sure. We can give you credit also, like in fine print.
We'll send you a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Is that a tongue or a flesh?
Erika.
You can see, yes, on the left side of the fist there is a tongue.
Is that the tongue, or is it just like some brutal part of the shin?
I think it's supposed to be the tongue.
Is his teeth and gum stuck to the...
Yeah, underneath there. Or is that like a bandana that he has around his heavy metal hand? I don't know.
Yeah, this is an horrendous...
The more you look at it, the worse it gets.
But that's his right hand. The right hand, like that.
The
right hand. So it's his left hand has like this on top of the head.
Yes.
Or is it another guy holding? That's really brutal.
Or is he holding a severed head?
And is he punching a severed head? And why does he bother to punch a severed head?
The severed head is also extremely angry, as you can see.
Well, I mean, it's quite the predicament, to have your head severed. So understandable.
Yep.
So there's a lot to say about this cover, and also a lot to say about the album, because I believe this is one of the pillars of thrash metal and metal in general. And I think Anthrax, one of the big four of thrash metal and stuff. And I know that Neff is a big fan of Anthrax when it comes to maybe certain period of them.
Oh, not this one.
What do you think? Yes, tell me. Tell us. What is?
No, this album falls more into the proto thrash. To me, feel like the first Exodus, Kill 'Em All, which I don't like either much. I mean, it's they're cool, but more like they're cool because they were the start of something. And I feel the same with this one. I had it on picture disc on vinyl. That sounded awful as well, as all picture discs did in those days. But this album never cut it, and I wouldn't say that it's due to the artwork, but the artwork certainly didn't inspire me, because I already then I felt, fuck, is this some kid that drew this? But it's the same if you look on, Kill 'Em All isn't fucking exciting, but it's better than, the Metal Up Your Ass, which was the original title, and with this, have you seen the drawing with the knife up?
Yes.
I mean,
It's very childish.
It's very childish, and this is sort of on the same. But then Anthrax is my, out of the the big four, Anthrax is my favorite. No discussion. So
after this era, when they started with Joe Belladonna.
Yeah, exactly. Because in those days I couldn't hear that he sang off key. Now I can do that, but in those days he felt like he was an awesome singer.
You mean Neil Turbin or Joe Belladonna?
Huh?
Which one of them?
Joey.
Ah, yes, I never liked him. And I love Anthrax. I never liked him. I rather listen to the John Bush era.
Yeah, well, Bush is... But he's almost too good for Anthrax. But for me, Anthrax was always about the bass and the drums. Actually, I mean the phenomenal driving force there, and yes. But for me, they are representing the real thrash. Also the tongue-in-cheek, humoristic, sort of political, but not too much preachy. I love Anthrax, but this album. Especially the artwork, not so much, but the album is much better than the artwork. I give you that for sure.
I mean, I've never been into thrash. Is maybe one of the metal genres I listen to the least to, and so that I have nothing to say about Anthrax. I've heard a few songs; it's pretty good. Could never name an Anthrax song.
No.
But I'm sure they're good.
But welcome to the DJ from Hell Part 2 party, where I will play you the amazing, the lost tunes of the thrash era, the Forgotten 4 albums and stuff.
Well, as long as you come to my place to listen to The Caretaker later. So.
No. Yes. That's.
It's only 6.5 hours
of misery and angst.
Yeah.
Well.
We are gonna stop, but we are not gonna stop yet because We're
gonna stop, but we're not gonna stop yet.
Cool. I will show you the artwork for the next Netherbird album.
Oh, is it the world first?
Yes. Actually, the band doesn't know that I'm gonna show it, and I wasn't sure either. But it's only
abort.
Don't,
I suspect a ruse.
Don't tell anyone.
No. There's no one watching into this.
Only 2 out of the band so far. But in any case, this stream is for friends only, and the album is called RIKET. RIKET, which is either this thinning land between 2 oceans, but it's also the highest order or excellence if you look into the Greek mythology. Or Greek philosophy. And the album, all the songs are about various reflections on what is true, what is it to truly reach your goals, or what's the higher purpose. But it's of course only dark reflections about failure. But in any case, I will of course at some point delve much deeper into what RIKET is about, the 6th album. It's recorded, most of it, but it's going to be out sometime next year. But the artwork, at least a sketch of it, I will showcase it now.
And that's the armadillo.
There we go.
This is very different from everything else you've done.
Yes. And this is done by a French artist. His name is Neil. So Nihil has made this, and it is. This is just depicting to me the highest order is to break faith, to rise towards a higher purpose or the heavens or a pillar or whatever. And this is how it's going to look. And it's very, very different from what we've done previously, because we worked only with, classical art. And now we decided to go with something more contemporary. So this is how it's going to look. It's a sketch so far. So the logo and the text is just put there to showcase to the band how it's going to look.
So you're saying there's still time for have armadillo on the top there?
It might crawl up there. There might be a few inverted crosses or something else really occult. But no, actually, this is how it's going to look, and I'm very ecstatic. But the fact that we are changing our way a little bit, and also the fact that it represents to cleanse yourself from faith, from dogma, from all those goals or preconditions that we sort of, our entire life, we strive to clear ourselves or rid ourselves from all the shit that we inherited from the culture, religion, and everything else in order to define ourselves, which is normally, I mean, it's different for different people, but RIKET is our take on various ways of sort of reinventing yourself or cleansing yourself from who you used to be or from what others wanted you to be. So this captures it. But I since we're talking artwork, this is where
yes, if I might say just 2 words, I think this is, I mean, normally you have been working with classical art for the covers, and this is, yes, contemporary, but I also would say that it doesn't, it does connect to the previous releases' artworks. It's not something completely,
no.
It's, there is a thread, and there's this big, majestic skies, a lot of them and stuff. I mean, if that is like a sketch or not just the, even the complete version, I think it looks absolutely stunning.
I like it, and it's nice to see it, deviating from the previous. Even though everyone would love to have another grand old painting, it would be amazing also. But it's nice to see something different.
Yeah, we felt it was time, or mainly because I'm the one who's been driving our art, the art direction, I would say, and I felt if we would put out another album with another classical painting, people refer to us as the band with the classical paintings, and I'm a bit tired of that, because I think people lose track on why we pick these paintings and why. I mean, we don't choose them because a classical painting, let's use it. It of course has a much deeper connection, but people don't pay attention to that unless you tell them, and you don't have the time to tell them on Spotify, so we do it differently. But in any case,
you should include a monocle in your logo so they will understand.
But this was a great little chat around album covers that rule on albums that suck, and vice versa. It's really was interesting, actually, and much harder than I thought.
Yeah, especially the bad, the good artwork bad album. That was difficult.
Yes, it was super hard. I'm just trying to also read the chat because I'm a very modern internet person, and it's hard.
You're a modern man.
Very modern. Also, in conclusion, this time around, it almost worked with the streaming platform. Actually, I'm quite happy about it. So we should do this more.
Yeah, you should just end with the outro should just be forced gender reassignment, just to so we can gain more viewers from other countries.
Absolutely, we'll do that. But I will bother you guys with some more talks on various themes because it's thoroughly enjoyable.
We will keep in touch.
And thank you everyone who tuned in. We don't know how many you are because I turned off that because it's distracting, but there's been a fair amount of comments in the chat, and that's awesome for us. It really helps us.
Next time we will talk about politics.
Only politics. Because that will be awesome. For next week, I'm not sure yet, Ricardo. I will be online next week, but I'm not sure about the subject. The three of us will be back at some point, but we haven't scheduled it yet.
In due time.
Yeah. So
if anyone has any suggestions, of course.
Yeah. I mean, suggestions are always welcome. Geo and politics. What could go wrong? Yeah, I mean, and I'm here as well. I think Walter is perhaps the only like
pure racist of us.
Exactly. Pure racism.
Little do you know.
Yeah, we'll do that, because if we can't get banned before, we'll do the racism and bursum pod.
Oh yeah. Can't wait.
No, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you everyone in the chat, and thank you for watching this also in afterwards on YouTube. See you around.
Until next time.
I will put on an outro.